What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Attack on Cowboys. I have a very, very special guest host today, and my man, I know for a fact, he has been on the cloud, not the iCloud, not the Apple cloud, the Thunder cloud. FootsDaKing, the NFL draft guru, one of the best independent NFL draft guys out there. I put him up there with the likes of guys like Vach, Brian Broaddus. I hold his opinions into high regard. And that's why I want to bring someone in that I know has an expertise in evaluating guys and is going to give you an objective view of exactly what the players are. He's going to take our emotions out of it as Cowboys fans. I want to pass the floor over to my guy, FootsDaKing, my brother from the Cowboys Collective, to discuss the top 3 draft picks for the Dallas Cowboys. And Foots, let's just get started, bro. Let's get started, man. How you feeling? Let's take a minute real quick to kind of just talk about the feelings of it first, right? Because you've been one of the people on the internet, bro. People have been kind of like, Foots, quit being so negative.
Hey, AOC, good morning, man. Top of the morning. It's so funny, man, because our relationship through the collective, it started as us just really getting to know each other. And now, we talk and text and have ideas on the Cowboys. And I think one thing I want people to understand is there isn't a person. I don't think anybody watching these two guys on the screen should think that we don't want this team to be great in any way. And so that's the goal. And I want to also give you a huge shout out. And you know why? For pushing your stream last night and doing a great job on it. I just want to say that. You really killed it. I was able to peek over in and out. I did my recap. I went to bed. I actually had you on in the background. I was digging into some of Shavon Revel's film. And I was like, man, AOC did a great job. So with that being said, I feel good. I will not sit here and I'm not phony and I'm not fake. And so I still think that it was a little, if we want to get right into it, my thoughts on day one. This is just day one. You draft Tyler Booker. And I'll say this. My initial thoughts were a lot of, where are you going to be able to get your playmaking ability? Where are you going to be able to get your juice at on this offense? Because I had a feeling that as you went down the draft, right? As we have went now, as we went down the draft, there'll be great value. And we'll get to that. And so now you don't reach on receiver or running back because the value of the other picks is too good. But let's talk about Tyler Booker.
Let's talk about Tyler Booker, bro.
So Tyler Booker, let's take a deep breath. Tyler Booker he has the right temperament. I think it's easy for.
He sold me, bro. I was hurt, Foots.
That's okay. You allowed to be, AOC.
My initial reaction, bro. People was mad. I'm disappointed in you, AOC, bro. I was pissed, and I had to smash myself with an egg too. And I did that off of GP because I've been talking shit for the last month, bro. Like, there's no way they pick an offensive. No way. And they did. So I was like, nah. I gotta have egg on my face for this one because I should have saw it, but I guess I don't know, man. I don't know what I was looking. I was looking at the wrong things. That's why you here, Foots.
So, but let's talk about the player. And the only question, I think we've kind of hit this ad nauseum, but I'll make it make sense. Tyler Booker, to me, is a physical player. He's a physical specimen. Like, he looks the part. He's what you want a NFL guard to look like. Like this whole 300 pounds, 299, barely making it. That's not
for real.
That ain't Booker. Booker's 6'4", 6'5". I mean, he looked like he could play tackle. He's one of them ones. He was Dane Brugler's highest rated guard. I didn't even rate interior lineman, and I did have a guy like Gray Zabel over him because of the type of guards that I like. But again, we're not talking about what Foots likes. We're talking about what Shoddy wants to do and who he wants to be. Right. If you want to play downhill, okay, let's just talk about being a downhill team. Duo. I said this before they had the interview. So duo, inside zone, ISO, all those types of runs, AOC, that's where Tyler Booker shines. Coming forward is where he shines. Now, does he have average foot quickness? Yes. Does he get a little lungy? Yes. but does he make up for it with his mentality? Yes, he has the character, and it's easy to see that. Any kid who comes in the league and says, "I want to block Jalen Carter," and isn't running from it, he didn't. That was actually really dope. Like he didn't hide from it.
He knows why he's here. He knows why he's here, Foots.
He didn't hide from it. He didn't hide from it, AOC. Mm-hmm. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm just gonna be respectful. I want to block Jalen Carter. Let's go." Mm-hmm. And I think that he plays that way. And when he does get beat, the next rep he's right back. He has really good conditioning. I just think he's limited in space. So that's Tyler Booker for me.
Okay, Tyler Booker, man. I mean, and as far as the pick in regards to the Cowboys, right? I think that this is honestly a very, very good pick. You can look at this as like a B plus A type of pick. And I think the only thing that makes it to where it's like, as a fan, you're like, it's because Foots, this feels like when you go to the grocery store, you just get way too much of one thing. It's like you get 5 cases of water. You only needed one. You only needed 1 case of water. You got 5 cases of water, though, bro. This feels like we loading the fridge up with the same protein, bro. Like, we ain't mixing the proteins up at all. It's just It's just straight ground beef in the fridge right now. No chicken, no pork chops, no nothing else, bro. And to me, that's kind of the part that I'm struggling with how the Cowboys are drafted so far. We're about to get a little bit deeper into it, but it just seems like it's redundant based off of what they did in free agency. So that's why it's hard to like it. But if you just take free agency out of it, if you take what the roster looks like right now away from this was a damn good pick in my opinion. I like this pick, and it makes sense. You got Zach Martin retiring. You got the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, the Giants defensive line. I think that people need to kind of start bringing up more because I think the Giants are going to have a very, very fucking good defensive line, bro. But the next pick, our second round pick, Foots, was Donovan Ezeiruaku from Boston College.
This has a lot of roster implications on it, and I'll say this. This was one of those where you had Jalen Noel on the board, you had Kyle Williams on the board. Maybe you wanted that receiver as the fan, but I am not mad that they did not reach on even a Mike Green, and they went with a player that they know can play football right now. They have been hunted in the second round, and I'll tell you, this was the pick that got me saying, okay, the Cowboys are drafting now. Now they're getting locked back in because you got to think about this. 16 sacks last year. Was the ACC Player of the Year.
16 and a half. Don't cheat them.
16 and a half. Here's the interesting thing. And I want you to, when people come at you with stuff, because they're going to come at you with his size and everything, AOC, he led the FBS in run stops. So it's not that he's not the stack and shed player. That'll be kneeling. But he's active and aggressive in the run game. So he's not that. And the issue that I had with Mike Green, I know a lot of people, I can't believe you guys let the Ravens get Mike Green. I've said it on the Cowboys Collective. I said it. Mike Green to me has a lot of flaws. He gets too far afield. I don't think Ezeiruaku has those flaws. You know what you're getting. We have to think about a guy like Sam Williams, who we all want to be great. We want Sam Williams to be great. With this guy, AOC, there's no want. You know what he is. This was a first-round pick. This was a late first-round pick. This was Dane Brugler's. I think Dane Brugler had him as a 6th edge, and I think he was like 27th on his big board. Yeah, he was my 3rd true pass rush edge, but I had guys like Michael Williams and Shamar Stewart as better run setters. But outside of James Pierce, he was my 3rd like true pass rusher. And the thing about Ezeiruaku is it's the plan, AOC. He has a pass rush plan. He has the best cross chop not the NFL, in the NCAA. So he will set pass rushers up.
So he set guys up with different moves, and he'll set shit up for later in the game. He'll come in the offensive lineman with one move and then have him ready for that. Maybe have the offensive line start oversetting a little bit, and then now he's gonna jump back inside. Okay, I see what you're going. Go ahead, cook, bro. You getting me hype. You're getting me hype for this one, Foots. Go on.
He has really good ankle flexion too, AOC. So those guys with that
scout word. Fans don't know what that is. What that means, Foots? They don't know what that is.
So when you bend it, right? Like, and I think the problem that people have with guys like Shamar Stewart and some of those other big, burly edges is that they can't bend. Well, in order to bend, you have to have really good hips, and then you have to have ankle flexion. That ankle flexion just basically allows you to get low. And so I look at ankles like he's Gumby-ish in that way. He's slithery. And so now what's going to happen is you guys are going to get a lot of pass rush teams, right? You'll get Micah. You'll get Ezeiruaku. you'll get Dante Fowler. And then you'll get Marshawn Neal. And I think the odd man out, and I don't want to say Sam's the odd man out because he's still on the football team, but you're going to get waves of pass rush. And that's never a bad thing. That's never a bad thing. We got to also realize Eberflus is more connected on the back end coverage-wise than even a guy like Dan Quinn was. I've been consistent about that. Like, that's where he shines. So you get guys coming up field and speeding these quarterbacks. And we got to remember, we now have Jalen Hurts in our division and Jaden Daniels. We got to go chase these guys around, man. We got to get them got to get them off their spot, I think. And another thing is this. You've been high on what Shotty's doing. This is a character guy as well. He was a captain. Boston College, bro. Like, different type of player. Jersey, he's from Jersey. He's just one of those ones,
Eagles fan. I didn't Eagles fan.
I didn't do any of that research.
They said he's from Jersey. I think one of his quotes was he an Eagles fan, but when he got drafted, he said it was some people with Eagles jerseys on. He said, y'all gonna have to take that off now. He said,
I like that.
The championship in my last year as a fan was cool, but he ain't an Eagles fan no more though. So he denounced the Eagles, y'all. He did denounce the Eagles.
And here's another note. Out of the last two players from Boston College with 30 career sacks, Matthias Kiwanuka, who was a really good player for the Giants, Donovan Ezeiruaku. So I'm just saying they put good players in the NFL. Luke Kuechly, Donovan Ezeiruaku, like they're gonna put good players in the NFL. I thought he could have been a first round pick. He fell to the second. The Cowboys didn't reach, and I'm glad they didn't.
Okay. So, all right, it's how we cook with fish grease right now. Right now, it's how the fish grease started to bubble up a little bit. I'm starting to hear it hiss. Now, I guess this next one may end up making that mug bubble over the pot because I'll start off real quick.
Yeah, done.
Seconds, bro. Shavon Revel Jr. This right here, if this man was not injured in the third or fourth game of the season last year, he would have been a first round pick. I think he would have been a first round guy if he wasn't injured. In just 2 or 3 games, he had multiple interceptions last season. Great ball skills, coverage guy, long. He's like 6'2", kind of a bigger athlete. He fits the profile of what Shotty's doing. What have we been talking about a collective? It's the 6 foot and up club now. They're not going after these smaller guys. They're going after bigger DBs. I think this is a guy you could put on the outside, and I think this is a dude that could potentially be a day one starter. Go ahead, Foots.
I'll add to that, man. He returned 2 of his 3 touchdowns for 50 yards or more. So this is a guy with ball hawking ability, former receiver. His story, this guy was working at Amazon, man.
Come on, man.
Like, that's the type of stuff earned, not given, AOC. Earned, not given. He arms. He's an imposing looking athlete. 6'0", 94. He weighs 94 pounds, 9-inch hands, 32-inch arm. 32-inch arms. And he actually long-armed athlete. And so this is an edge corner. Now here's what we need to talk about, because he's in the plans. They drafted him. The win of it, right? Everybody's posting him on the treadmill running, and he looks fat. I mean, he looks fine. And he's 24. So he's not a young guy, but he's not old either.
And it happened early in the season last year. Right.
So the Cowboys, and the Cowboys surgeon did the surgery. So they have intel again that other teams just don't. How is he progressing? Is he taking it serious? The guy looks cut up, and I remember seeing him in a picture with Jerry. He's a big corner, bro. He is, and I just think that with what you have on this roster now, Diggs when he gets back, because we still want Diggs to play good football.
We do, but I think Diggs.
I think this might be his. This might be that. So for year one, let's talk about year one, because this is where we have fun. Yeah. Could you imagine Diggs on one side, Revel on another side, and Bland in the slot? Like, let's say that's a good and they're everybody's back, and Revel, they did a ramp up here, because I said that they could start him week 1, but maybe not. Who knows? They're saying that he'll start on pup, but they haven't even got this guy through the door. They don't know. He may shock them. Nobody knows. Apparently, he's supposed to be ready for training camp, but knowing Dallas, they will take all the time needed.
And they got Kyer Elam. They just traded for Kyer Elam, so that gives them a little bit of like hey, let's slow play this a little bit. We got this other guy. He has a little bit more NFL experience, highly graded guy in his draft. Let's give him a chance to get on the field a little bit so we can slow play Revel into the game.
Yeah, and I think that's, to be honest with you, that's the play. But I wouldn't be surprised if you got to, now we get into the person.
Mm-hmm.
It's a go-getter, man. I mean, it's a guy who was training and then working doubles. What if he don't want it? What, you know what I mean? What if he and you can see it in his play style. Like this is not a player who's going to go out there and be nervous. This is comparable to Quinyon Mitchell. The difference is, because people say that, small school, the difference is he just had the injury.
Right.
But the player, this is comparable to Quinyon Mitchell. He has the ability to mirror. It's the size factor, man. You don't see corners this big that can move this well. It's a 4'4" guy. You see what I'm saying? And so we talked about corner being a need. I'll tell you this. Had he not been hurt, he could have been possibly the first corner drafted this year.
Damn. Well, that means this was excellent value to be taking this man in the third round at pick 76 then, Foots. And we kind of went over all three players now, just in a vacuum as players. Now, I kind of want to get your opinion on the Cowboys draft. Their day one and day two. I want to kind of get your early grade on their draft, and what are your honest thoughts as far as, like, how are you feeling? As a fan, how are you feeling right now, and what do you think this means for their future plans on this roster going forward?
If I had to give the player grade for Booker, it would be a B-.
Okay.
This is my grade.
Okay.
I would give Ezeiruaku a B+, and value-wise, I would give Shavon Revel an A. Roster-wise, and I had tweeted something out earlier. Give me a second. So I tweeted something out earlier about the running backs. Here it is. So roster-wise, running back, and possibly even two with those fifth-round picks. So here's some of the running backs still available: Dylan Sampson, Jordan James, Devin Neal, Damian Martinez.
I want Damian, bro.
Yes, I would love Dallas to say, you know what? I don't care about the rest of the draft. Go get the running back we need to get. And there's still a lot of good talent on the board. The problem is, you got 100 and whatever picks or 70 picks. You got a crazy amount of picks before you draft. So it'll be 70 picks. So, but Kyle Monangai, Cam Scatterbo, Brashard Smith is the one that I want. Corey Kreiner. Stars, the stars that I want. I put some stars. This is on this tweet. Is I would love Dylan Sampson. I would love Devin Neal. I would love Damian Martinez. Would love DJ Giddens. I would love Brashard Smith, and I would love Kyle Monangai. So the running back room, you talk about the roster, the running back room is chalk. And I think AOC, you've been ahead of something. They may believe in Jonathan Mingo more than consensus.
Chairman of the Mingo fan club, bro. Jonathan Mingo he's Trey Harris.
You said
Trey Harris. He's DK Metcalf light. I think Jonathan Mingo has all the traits of those guys, and I think that what did I say? I said they already went and got Jonathan Mingo, bro. What's the difference between having Jonathan Mingo and drafting a receiver in the second or third round? There isn't much. Yeah. There isn't much, bro. The only difference is your opinion, fans, of Jonathan Mingo has been sullied by the Carolina Panthers regime. That's the only difference between drafting him and a second or third round receiver. Jerry kind of echoed that sentiment a little bit. He said, look, we traded our fourth round pick for Jonathan Mingo, and we had a second round grade on him. So that was our fourth round pick. He letting us know that was the receiver that they picked in this draft was Jonathan Mingo, bro. And I think that at this point, Foots, they have to, one of those substantive trades that Jerry and them been talking about, all these trades they've been teasing over the last 24. Hey, it has to be for a veteran playmaker, right? I think at this point, we know it has to be for either a running back, a Breece Hall, a George Pickens, one of these receivers. It has to be for a playmaker, right?
Yeah. I think that would be the trade. And I think that now it could be, if you bring Pickens in, let's roll.
Let's roll, bro. I'm shutting the hell up. I love it. If you bring Pickens, and that's the thing. That's how fluid this is, and that's why I love this time of the year, because as fans, your initial reaction seeing in round one, it was like, then you slept on it, and you was like, okay. And then we get to day two, and it's like, okay, but no weapons. Cool, we doing good, but no weapons. But one move, one trade, one acquisition could completely flip how you're feeling. And I think the Cowboys have done a good job so far. I think in their first 3 picks, they got 3 guys who could come in as day one starters. And I think that's all you're really asking for when you're drafting.
That's what we've been saying as far as like this. Okay, come on, Dallas. Like these drafts need to start looking like something. I think that Booker was a safe pick. I can say that.
Yeah. Like
high level, Booker was a safe pick, a very safe pick. I think that he was a player that is he's better than Hoffman, right? He's bigger than Hoffman. And though they did attack it, and AOC and Foot said, "Go get your weapon," they didn't feel that way. Now we have to make it make sense. And I spent the day not really upset, but just confused. I keep using the word confused.
You're a fan. You're a fan, bro. You spent the day feeling like a fan first before you were able to put your analysis hat back on and be like, okay, let's see what what's happening so I can break it down for my people. But you were a fan at the end of the day, Foot. And I think
Jerry Jones is a fan.
Exactly. And I think you felt a lot of the way. I think people are being unrealistic if they really expected everyone to be jumping out of their seat happy for seeing an offensive line picked in the first round. Like that, no one wanted to see that, and it's like one of those situations. I tweeted this. I said, seeing Donovan Booker pick was like when you were a kid and used to ask your parents for the next gaming system or a new game or something, and then they gave your ass some socks, underwear, and school clothes.
Yeah,
it's like you didn't want that, but the older you get, you really appreciate that. You like, damn, bro, like that's really what actually mattered. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that's what Tyler Booker is to me. And I like what we're doing, Foots. I think a couple of acquisitions. I'm not going to completely jump off the positivity train or anything. It's a little bit disappointing from the perspective of, hey, I can't say I was right. But at the end of the day, the team got better. So I'm glad to be wrong, and that's just how I fan, bro. But
yeah, not for sure. For sure.
But either way, man, appreciate you for coming in, Foots. Appreciate you for coming in and sharing some high-level Foots word. That's, you need to get that copyrighted, boy. High level. Some high-level content with us about these guys, about our first 3 picks for the Dallas Cowboys 2025 NFL Draft. We will be coming back, and maybe you'll see the second part of this or something on FootsDaKing channel. So that's another reason I should go check out my guy's channel as well. Be sure to subscribe, check out his content. He's been having amazing draft coverage as well, man. And that's the beauty of what we got going on here. Y'all can get the stuff that you need in any flavor you want it in, man. So appreciate you for coming on.
Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this after AOC. So we'll let the draft happen. I'll get some content out, and then next week let's touch the whole body of it. We'll touch it on the Cowboys Collective.
We ain't gonna touch it like Shannon. We ain't touching it like Shannon.
Hey yo,
hey, touching it like Shannon. We can't choke it. We gotta hover. We gotta hover a little bit.
Hey man, I can't wait to listen back to this. Thank you for having me, bro.
Appreciate you, Foots.
All right, much love.
How about them Cowboys?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.